Hi there, welcome to the future. It's 2020 now, so I imagine cars fly, pigs drink, beer, and carrots taste good now. We're not even in the same decade now. The 2000 teenage years are done. This is the future, and I have no remorse for what I'm about to say. Listen, camera companies of the future, as Panasonic quickly tracks my movements. Oh no, my acne. I have demands. Whatever happened last year is unforgivable, and we move on to the future. Let's move on together.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
Do you like my new set? I moved my microphone out of the shot. And I got a painting. It was $2.99 at Value Village. I splurged hard on that one. So let's get right into it. This is what I expect to be released this year. Some of it may sound outlandish on purpose, but you gotta shoot for those stars. So the first thing I expect to be released, the Fuji X-T4, and you kill off the XH1 lineup, all in one foul swoop. Foul swoop. That's how it's pronounced, and that's what it means. It's not foul. The main thing we have to decide with the Fuji X-T4, is this going to be a vlogger's paradise camera, or is it a studio camera? If you're gonna handhold the thing, you need the IBIS. But if you're not, if it's just in here, you don't need the IBIS. So you have to decide, Fuji, now. Do you want us to handhold weddings? Magical couples staying together forever? Dave and Susie look at each other. Yep, that's who you're stuck with now. $4.99. Please. I'm fired. You're a loser. So if you're a handheld wedding filmmaker's dream and a vlogger side thought, we need the IBIS. You can make it happen. You said you were shrinking it. I don't care if the camera's a little bigger, but lighter somehow. It's bigger and lighter. And it has perfect IBIS, better than Panasonic's. And it weighs nothing, basically. It's made of titanium. Doesn't exist yet. I obviously demand a flippy screen, and you have the technology, the XA7, just put that screen on there. It flips up for the photographer geeks, and it swings for us monkey vloggers. So it's the perfect design to make everybody happy, and there's only 2 changes we really need. We don't need 4K 120p. I only want 2 changes, and the first one is to change your exposure in video to smooth instead of stepping. I'm sick of your stepping bullshit. You step in it. You step in it. You're expecting us to blink and not see the exposure changes. I blink twice a minute, max. I see them. We all see it. Just stop, make it smooth. I don't know why you jump. Whether it's shutter speed or aperture changing or ISO, it's all in these giant leaps. It's gotta be smooth. He continues on doing that for a while. Let's just move on. The codec, you talk a big game with your 4K 60p in my 10-bit. You can't do it in H.264. It's harder to edit your files. My computer blew up. I've never had a computer crash more than when editing those files from the Fuji X-T3. I couldn't believe it. So get something friendly in there, like a ProRes or something better, Windows equivalent to that. My computer handles ProRes just fine. And I also demand a new lens, a wider one, an f2, 12mm f2. You already have an f2 lineup, just bring it back a notch. You're peeking a little close here with your 23mm. That's the widest you can do. Panasonic keeps putting a box around this painting. Stop it. Don't even look at it. It's my painting, Panasonic. Stop it. I feel like he's peeking there. It's like, what is that? So if Fuji offers something like that, I jump right in that cult. I join it. I don't care what the initiation phase is. I'll do it. I'll do whatever it is. When it comes to Canon, I want a mirrorless cinema camera, small. A Canon V for video, so we're not confused. It does video really well. and you put everything you got into it. I don't know how big it's gonna be. I don't care if it's a cinema, but cheaper. Not $10,000. Full frame. 4,000 max. Canadian. That's reasonable. I want raw video now. If you cook it, you destroy it, just like with food. You have broccoli, eat it raw, it's good for you. You cook it, it causes cancer. 17 forms of cancer, proven by science. So make the raw video, but I will allow a slight crippling of it. Merry New Year to you. I'm sure you've turned a new leaf. You're no longer crippling cameras. You took back the 24p thing. I'm proud of you. We love you. Thank you. Your new camera with the EF mount to RF mount is going to be stupid. It's going to fail. Right for the eye with that one. On this cinema camera, I want the most magical highlight roll-off you've ever seen in your... It's not even roll-off anymore. Let me introduce to you Highlight Dignity. Yeah, that's right. We have Highlight Dignity Recovery. You see those lights back there? They just blend right into my face in your camera. You can't even tell what's happening. So smooth, like a baby's bottom. Oh, cuppa. Oh boy. I'd be happy with the 1DX rumors, basically. Like 4K 60 RAW. Just do something right. Canon, your color science and autofocus is nice, but let's be real, Panasonic has caught up to you. How many times has it messed up this video? Sometimes it'll just like, no. I want 2.7K 120p, a variable ND that's invisible and light, and a new lens, a 24mm f1.2. So we get this angle of view, although I switched the lens, that's a lie. That's a 27mm now on this. Ooh, that's fine, you back it up a bit, but 1.2. Imagine what's going on back there. I'd also like to see a series of f1.8, maybe f2 primes, lighter. Show us. So far you're making these gigantor lenses for dinosaurs. I'm not a dinosaur. Haven't been since I was 6. Now when it comes to the Panasonic GH6, no more fooling around with these different divisions. You got your G9, GH5, GH5S. The G9's better in video now. What the hell are you doing? Can you imagine owning a GH5 for video, knowing that the G9 is now better, has better stabilization, better autofocus, lighter, weirder with the grip, better somehow? Can you imagine the life that guy lives? And I'm just gonna be blunt here. If you release a GH6 with contrast detect autofocus, there will be baby penguins at a party. I will invite them, and guess who's not getting crackers? Them. That's on your hands, Panasonic. That's on your hands. You've already shown us that you can detect bright lights in the background really good, and we're proud of you, but stop it. Stop it. Stop doing it. When I do this, and then I come back here, what was that? Little hesitation. Yeah, that's right. Has it been flawless this whole time? Is contrast detection our overlord ancestor protectors? Oh, I love it. I also want autofocus in your new 1080p 480 frames per second auto slow motion. Why is it auto slow motion? It just decides. I also want their new and improved IBIS to work with wide-angle lenses. No more of this wavy shit. Why are people waving at me in my own video? I'm just trying to make a scene here. I think you had a boardroom meeting about it, actually. I bet you did. Alright, fellas, we're getting a lot of reports. Our IBIS is warping and shit. It's scaring children. We gotta fix it. Boss, we said that from day one. The wide angle, it shows the sensor moving in and out on a 3-axis dimensional plane of existence. There's no way to stop it. I actually prefer the look anyway, so we don't even have to change it. It's one of the best features we have. Oh, I don't think it's a good thing. It's actually really distracting. It causes seizures in 11 of the 15 participants we had at our castle last week. Some of my favorite movies have the warpy stabilization in them. I don't know what you're talking about, Jim, with your crayon pack. Yeah, fancy. Just pick a color and stick with it. So you've seen it in movies? Can you name a movie? Of course I could. It's in more movies than not. It'd be harder to name a movie without it. The Exorcist had it. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was known for that effect. Leonardo DiCaprio demanded it. That's why they filmed the whole movie with the Panasonic G85. So fix your shit. And when it comes to Olympus, may I suggest that you make a camera bag and pack up all your stuff and leave. You're done. We all know you're done. You have 8 months to live. Angry Photographer told us. He never lies. He knows that Fuji warned them hard. If the Olympus executives tried to fight the Fuji assassins on top of a mountain to decide which mountain company would prevail, that's not a battle they can win. So assuming Olympus is done and made the rest sold the rest. On the offhand that they're not done, then go ahead and make the Panasonic GH6 that we all know Panasonic isn't gonna make. You do it then. All those same things, you do it. And you could do it too. The EM1 II is basically that, with none of the fun things. Just put the fun things in the EM2, 1, EM4. As for lenses, I would like a 9mm f1.2 pancake lens. Should weigh 49 grams. Silver in color. No lens hood. The lens hood weighs 700 pounds. And it's sold separately. That's where most of the cost goes into. You could choose not to get it. You save some cash. I also wouldn't hate a 12mm f1.2. I'm just saying. If you got time while you're making the 9. This one can be heavier because this is for the studio. The 9mm pancake 1.2 is out for vlogging. So I enjoy vlogging on that soon. The Olympus V1 pancake lens. $700 with all the GH6 features. That'll get you back into the profitability factor, huh? You'll be thriving. Now when it comes to the Sony A7S III, yeah, you lost your chance at the 3 and the 4. You've waited too long, and we demand too much now. You have to jump 2 leapfrogs. So you're looking back at the A7 IV, camera of the year for photographers who lick yogurt on a fork. They use forks for yogurt. That's what photographers do. It's sad. It's hard to watch. I want 4K, 120 frames per second, 10-bit, of course. 444. Don't even know what that means, but I want it in there. And I'll give you a break. 10-second recording limit. That'll keep David Osler happy at his weddings. He just needs a little bit. I only heard him say that once before. He certainly hasn't mentioned that every single time he shoots a video. He would never do that. He would never repeat himself. I want full autofocus capabilities in slow motion, the animal eye tracking, especially for my squirrel adventures. And that shouldn't be too hard. They're moving in slow motion. So come on. How hard is it to track someone moving in slow motion? Can you do it, Panasonic? It's easy. I also want 2.7K at 240 frames per second, 10-bit, autofocus enabled, 15-second recording limit. Make that happen. I also demand 1080p at 971 frames per second be in the camera at release, not in a firmware update. The 11 extra frames per second represent the amount of bunnies I will step on if that feature's not in the camera. That's a threat, not a joke. I also want the flippiest of all flippy screens. This thing should be on a track around the camera, moving anywhere. Anywhere it wants to flip. It could flip up here, anywhere. It's a freaking full track that's thin and light, invisible, and just anywhere. It better face my fucking face. Sony, for some reason, has the worst LCD screens in the business. Now it's time to dazzle us. I want to be dazzled, like I'm taken out at an opera. To an opera with hot dogs missing, because that's not classy enough for my lunch. When it comes to the screen, this is very important. Let's get serious for a second here. The GH5S has a 3.2 inch screen with 1.6 million dots. That's the resolution. It's not enough. Because I tried the Panasonic S1H, it had the same size screen, but 2.3 million dot. Evaluation. That was not the word. I couldn't believe the difference. I could see if I was in focus. Right now, I can't really tell. It's very hard to tell. Especially now that it's dimmed, after I've been filming for 40 minutes. Oh God, someone help. Are you gonna help? He continues doing that for about 45 minutes, so let's move on. The screen, I want this to be 3.5 inches to beat out the S1H, and 2.5 million dots, just to squeak out a little extra for the ultimate screen. Bigger, sharper, faster, flipping on the track. For the Nikon Ninja 9, since Nikon can't make cameras on their own anymore, they need Atomos to help, like, oh, we'll give you the file, just you make it happen. We can't do it, it's too heavy. I now demand an Atomos recorder replace your screen and be built into your camera. It's slightly smaller. The Ninja 4 will do, a 4-incher, 3 million dots. And it records, it's plugged in already, plugged in through the back somehow. I'm just having a hard time deciding whether it should be a partially articulating screen or a fully... Listen, you piece of shit. I want 4K at 15-bit, 300 frames per second, internally, but externally hidden by the cable in the back. I want 1080p downsampled from 9K, raw, put it, and I have a couple admittedly strange lens demands. Those would be the 28mm f1.2 lens, because that could be fun. That's 1mm tighter, so just picture this like that, but 1.2, so like this. This is what I demand. Also, since you're already into the fetish freak lenses, I demand a 10mm f0.95 knocked lens that weighs 63 pounds and can't even manually focus. It has no ability to change focus. It's a set distance, and each lens is different, and you don't know what lens plane you're going to be on. That's what I want. I don't know why. A real photographer knows how to adapt. They adapt to their surroundings. You toss them in a jungle, they're going to get the shot. They're going to get the shot of the monkey kingdom. Doesn't matter if it's the leader or not. They just want a nice shot. Now, when it comes to the Sony X4000, we're keeping this form factor. I like this more than this. For this one, it's awkward. You gotta hold it at the side or a pinching crab motion. And DJI just happened to F ya, because those are the only options unless you have it on a stick, a gimbal stick. This or that. So DJI puts the microphone right here to cover that one up, or right on top to cover that up. DJI, you're a freak company. May I suggest the Sony X4000 double in size? We do not need this miniature piece of goat. We want it bigger, 1-inch sensor, fully articulating screen, just like a regular camcorder. It kind of bounced. Did you notice that, Panasonic? I did. You let GoPro surpass you. How? A GoPro, they're American surfers. They haven't worked a day in their life. Just lunch on the beach for them. So 1-inch sensor, just do it. You've done it in your RXO, your lens isn't wide enough. And don't glue the thing onto the back like this one. This one looked so good. I was tracing my videos back. They looked okay at one point, and then boom, out of focus. I don't even film in 4K on this thing until now. There's no way it overheated. And realize this isn't a camera for snowboarders, it's for vloggers. It's perfect for vlogging. So make a little shotgun mic on here. Just a little nub with a wind cover on it. Little Sony wind beards, come on. And make that mic jack in the back usable and controllable, and revamp your menu system. Just touching quickness, Switching modes to slow-mo quickly. Couple buttons here. Make them all on the side flippy screen hinge. Do it. Oh, what a great camera. I'll throw this in a lake. And I want 1080p at 480 frames per second. No crop. Increase your stabilization, make it better. And do a lens cap that doesn't stain the lens every time I put it on. What am I, a garbage man? With Windex? Yeah. And for our final camera, I'm just throwing this out there. It's a bit of a Hail Mary attempt, but we all need to dream. This is for Leica. I want a camera chiseled out of one large diamond. I should be able to choose the color of it. It does 480p, 28 frames per second, full sensor readout, 11 seconds record time limit to be reasonable. I want it to cost $75 million. There should be a diamond part that lets me see the reflection of the flippy screen in it. Just something has to articulate in that. I know that's challenging. Working with diamonds, I've done it. I was a diamondist. I want no buttons, no way to change any setting, no lens mount. You have to buy a separate lens diamond that's held together with diamond tape. And it takes no pictures, only video, and the video's bad, and it's expensive, and you should have buyer's remorse immediately after, but it should exist. Don't hold back. So sorry this video was so short. Do let me know what your perfect camera of 2020 is. Post it down below, and I will delete your comment. And we're done. Thanks for watching. Thanks for buying a Camera Conspiracies t-shirt. And subscribing for more videos, and I'll see you in the next one.